work, and what does he have to show for it? A Super Bowl ring. Yes, Nick Scott spent 4 seasons with the LA Rams, and now he's doing his thing with the Cincinnati Bengals, which must be kind of awkward, right, Nick? Is it awkward?
It started out a little awkward. I'll say this. I never brought up the Super Bowl. Some of my teammates did, and they wanted to talk about it. So to each their own. Some guys don't talk about it. Some guys do. But it's all good now.
Who talked about it?
Who was the first person to ask me about it? Mike Thomas, safety.
Yeah.
We were sitting at dinner with the DBs, and there was a little bit of a silence after a conversation, and Mike just broke the silence. He said, "Nick, I gotta ask, like, how did it feel?"
Yeah.
I said I wasn't gonna bring it up, but it was one of the best days of my life.
I wouldn't. I was just there. I'm sad I didn't get to hang out with you when I was at camp, but I talked to Orlando Brown Jr. and I was like, and he said, and he's huge, like the biggest guy in the world. Like I'm the size of one of his legs, and he said, I'm scared. I don't talk about it. I'm scared. I'm not bringing it up. I'm not bringing my ring around here. I'm not doing anything because obviously it's a bit of a sensitive subject because this team you're on right now, my friend, is loaded for bear. They're ready to go and win a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's healing. The Bengals defense, obviously 6th-ranked scoring D last year. How crazy is your coach, Lou? He's crazy.
Oh man, he's crazy, but he's a defensive mastermind. I mean, he's so unpredictable in like the most calculated way possible. So it's been a lot of fun just playing and learning under him. I'm excited to see what he draws up for this season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put this out there because I'm close with the Bengals fan base. They're not going to like this, but does Lou have that head coach vibe to him?
Yeah, but we like him where he is right now.
You always know. You're like, no, he's not. He would be a terrible head coach. Wink, wink. I love that. Everybody can tweet the show at Up and Adam Show. I have big Bengals fans, of course, following along here. Listen, you're part of a new look secondary. You're only in your 5th year, but you walk into this room, into these dinners, and these are kids, right? You've got these young DBs like Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill, who I'm expecting big things from, Jordan Battle out of Bama. How are you navigating being the new guy and the OG at the same time?
Yeah, it's definitely new territory. Like you said, it's only my 5th year in the league, which is a huge blessing. But, I'm just trying to, give these guys game the best that I can and also take some away from them because these guys are young, but they've had a lot of experience in this league. We got great leaders in the room already. So I'm just trying to follow their lead and, add on to that secondary from a leadership standpoint as well as a physical standpoint.
Here's what you do, Nick. You take them into the DB room or wherever you guys hang out, and you put your feet up on the desk, okay? And you say, sit back and watch these 2 plays, and you just shut up because you're going to show them these. Talk me through. First is Patrick Mahomes' interception. Go.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great play, obviously, by our rush getting him out of the pocket. And after that, just playing free safety and following his eyes. And I don't know if he was trying to no-look me or something, but I was just watching his eyes the whole way. And, he gave me a little bit of a gift, so I appreciate him for that. I know the Bengals fans like that one, though. They're not too happy about it.
And then you go, this is how I want you to sit. I want you to sit and be like, Coach Lou, I got this. And then you're going to go, all right, you guys like any questions about that Mahomes pick? No. And then you're going to go, and here's this one. You and Tom Brady, go.
Yeah. Tom Brady, look, I had a lot of help from Eric Weddle that playoff season. We had talked about this play. We had a feeling it might come up. Saw the ball in the air.
You're covering Gronk.
It's all good. No, yeah, he's the GOAT for sure, but I got a lot of confidence in my talents in my grasp. So it was, another good play. Just blessed to be in that position.
Right. So now you go up against Joe Burrow, and I know it's new, and I know he got hurt. What sets him apart from even going up against those 2 GOATs that you picked off?
Oh man, I would say Joe Burrow. He's not afraid to make any throw. Like he can throw his receivers open, and he really challenged you as a DB to make the play. And I mean, when you got the guys that he has and TB and Uno and T. Higgins and all those guys, I mean, Trenton Irwin, all those guys, they make contested catches. So he's got a lot of faith in them. So he's going to put it out there and make the DBs make a play.
Did you ever pick him off yet?
Joe Burrow? No, not yet. Not yet.
How are you going to get him?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think as long as I go against him in the season, I'll have plenty of picks on some other quarterbacks that matter on game day. So if I get him, I get him. If not, more power to him.
Take me back to that Super Bowl. Just you and me talking. Your team won't watch this. They're too busy watching tape on other things. What sort of stuck out to you, maybe even about facing Joe Burrow? Like, what's the memory or the vibe, even if you can explain it, from the Super Bowl that you won with the Rams?
Man. Obviously being in that situation, I mean, everything's heightened, like your senses and everything like that. Like, I remember being so juiced up, like the first play when I made my break, I felt like I was about to burst out of my shoe. Like, that's how juiced up I was. But after that stuff kind of calms down. The thing that really stood out to me about the Bengals especially is just, how young they were as a team, but how cool, calm, and collected they were. Like, the stage wasn't too big for anybody on that squad, and they were playing hard, and they were trying to win, playing to win, not playing to not lose, because nobody has expected them to be there at that point. But they came out flying and made it known early that they were supposed to be there. So I was impressed with them from start to finish.
I have this theory because I'm a huge Bengals supporter. I love this team. I'm so excited that they were counted out and got their loss, but I have this theory because I've never met Joe Burrow, and I've met his parents. I've met people around him. I feel like I've met his accountant, like his landscaper. I've never met Joe Burrow, and I have this working theory that nobody really talks to Joe Burrow because everyone says like the same one or two things about him. He keeps to himself. Like, I have a feeling like he does not talk. Do you feel like you have a relationship with him?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an early relationship, but he's bouncing around the locker room talking to guys. He's playing card games with the DBs. He's on the ping pong table when he's mobile. So, I mean, it's clear that he has a relationship with a lot of guys on this team. And our relationships is growing. So I'm excited about him. And he's not as I guess, quiet or to himself as a lot of the people on the outside think or see. I think he's just got his circle or knit or teammates that he kind of rocks with. So it's good to see him be social.
I love that. When I was there, I sat down with Jamar Chase, who's obviously in Joe's inner circle since back in the day. They have crazy chemistry, and it's like a huge part of this offense and why the team's successful. But I'm sitting with him, and I'm like, you're 23, and you are like a leader on this team. And it really stuck out to me, just really impressive. But he must be a nightmare to deal with. What's he like?
Oh, yeah, you said it, nightmare to deal with. I dealt with him, in the Super Bowl, and he was making plays. And he's making plays every day out in practice, and he's making guys better. The thing about him, you mentioned him being 23 and still being a leader on that team. That's as true as it is. I mean, I remember one of the first days I was there, we were having conversations already about how people play him and what he's used to seeing and what I'm doing and how that correlates and how it helps and how I can help them get better and everything like that and vice versa. So his presence is tremendous and has a huge impact on his team on the field, obviously, but even bigger impact as a leader.
Is he slept on among the elite wide receivers in the National Football League, you think?
I don't think so. Just how I looked at him and how people looked at him when I was on a different team. Everybody, from what I know, is hyper aware of Jamar Chase's talent and ability. Maybe slept on by the media and people outside of the football realm, but everybody that dresses up on Sunday knows exactly what he can do, knows he's a threat, and he's a problem. And, I'm expecting him to have another big year.
Take me back quickly before we let you go to this young DB group, because I do have questions, right? I was out there, with my binoculars on, eating my Grater's ice cream at camp, and I'm like, Dax Hill, Cam, where are you? Shout somebody out. Who is looking really great? Like, I know, and just in the whole secondary, Awuzie, I'm hoping big things from him. Is there somebody that you're like, oh?
I would say Dax Hill definitely jumps out. Cam Taylor-Britt, Tyson Anderson is a guy who's been showing up in the preseason game, had those 2 picks, but just those young guys, coming on the stage. I know Cam got in the season a little bit later after an injury, and Dax kind of worked in here and there. But, I'm expecting big things from those guys. They've been sponges. They've been soaking everything up in this defense and really learning it, but also going out and making plays. And one of the things I love about Cam is he doesn't shy away from anybody. Like when he's in practice, he wants all of Chase, trying to get better that way, or T or whoever. He doesn't shy away. So love his competitive nature. And then Dax has just been growing from a mental standpoint. We already know what he can do physically. So I'm excited about those two guys for sure.
The only person I have more questions about on that team, and I like your perspective because you come from the Rams and Sean McVay, who I feel like I know because he's who he is. Zach Taylor, give me, what are your, being a Sean McVay guy, and I know that you are, what are your impressions of Zach Taylor, who's, obviously they come from the same world, but a little different?
Yeah. I'd say Zach Taylor is very, cool, calm, and collected, very level-headed. He's like this the whole time. He's never too high. He's never too low. And that's great for players to be able to follow that, because there's going to be highs and lows in the game. There's going to be highs and lows in practice. There's going to be highs and lows during the season. So when you have somebody that's like a steady rock and can kind of just continue to coach through tough times or good times, that's great.
You're basically saying Sean McVay is a maniac. That's basically, by saying all of that about Zach, that's and Sean McVay is not that.
not in a bad way, but Sean McVay, he can be expressive for sure.
Yeah. Do you go? Listen, I was doing my research on Nick. You were a dual threat quarterback. You were a dual threat athlete, like a quarterback in high school. Then you were a running back at Penn State, Saquon Miles, the whole vibe. Then you changed to safety. Are you going up to Zach Taylor and saying, look, listen, I can do all these things. Let's have some fun?
Yeah, I'm sure they know. Maybe I do need to say something, but I'm sure they know. They've seen some of the film. I got a career touchdown at Penn State, so it can be done. I can run the ball. I can throw the ball a little bit. So, if they're listening, I'm ready and willing. Plug me in anywhere. Yeah, I just love that it's like Saquon Miles and then you can play all over Zach. Zach and Lou. Y'all need to have a meeting together with Nick. We got to have some amazing trick play action. And I'd like to see it, because I'd like to see this team in the Super Bowl. Nick, you're so awesome. I'm so excited for you. A young veteran, you're 5 years in and you're running the show over there. Good luck this season. We'll be rooting for you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Kay. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. We'll be back after this. We had Dante Whitner on the show. We loved meeting Nick Scott and getting to know him a little bit. That smile sort of says it all. I love that he's in that locker room. And after this, the guy who smiles more than anyone, Bill Belichick. Let's get to it. Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest Up and Adams content right on YouTube.